This week on the Spotlight, Robin Ventura talks about his team and their chances in the second half. And then we talk to a new guy. We're going to tell you this new guy's name and all about him. And we flash back to Ken Griffey Jr. as a youngster with the Mariners. Boy, this is an old piece of tape, but good. And then we also flash back to Joe Girardi when he was a Cubs player. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. It's the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. Great repairs at 108th and Kedzie. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You've got to get to the Cove. Wednesday, July 27th, 8 p.m. Great people, great game for my trivia. 1750 East 55th Street. Fun times for all. I'll see you over there at the Cove. You've got to get to the Sock. Live Benkowski Trivia. Alternate Thursdays, 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. See you there. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. You've got to get to Dr. Sherman Clay, chiropractor. Gentle adjusting. Most insurance accepted. Massage therapy, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Call 773-324-4325. That's HEAL. Dr. Sherman Clay. You've got to get to Lulu's because they've got it all. Italian beef, hot dogs, burgers, chicken, gyros, fish, salads, subs, ribs, and a lot more. At Taylor and Ogden, 2200 West, you got to check out Lulu's. They got everything. Snappers Seafood and Chicken has come to Chicago, and what an extensive menu. Tilapia, perch, catfish, shrimp, conch from the Miami Connection, it's so fresh, crab, Philly steak, and they also have grilled foods at 115th and Western. A massive menu. I've just touched on some of it. Oysters, you name it. You got to get the Snappers at 115th and Western. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. We're back on the Spotlight. We're talking White Sox baseball, and as we love to do, we educate you and give you new information as much as we can about new White Sox players. And we're going to do that today and maybe even a little bit next week with Jason Coates. Now, he's a Texan, I'll give you that much, by birth. And it probably will explain his favorite team and whatnot growing up. But we'll let him speak the rest for himself. He's a guy who you might be seeing in some late inning situations, getting the occasional spot start, but somebody with some pop in the bat, and a guy who just, Robin's going to try to spot in so he can do some damage. So here's the new Jason. He's going to talk about his short Major League Baseball career and how he got here. We're back on the Spotlight, and we're talking White Sox baseball. Tell us a little bit about when you got the word and the call. It's always an exciting time, and how you felt you were playing at that time.
When I got called up, I was in Charlotte, and it was right before our game, and got called into the coach's office, and he made it sound like I was in trouble or something, and he was like, but I just want to let you know they're calling you up, and at that moment I was really happy. All the hard work paid off, and it was just a really special moment.
Well, take us back a little bit to your early days in baseball growing up. What city were you in, and who are some of your favorite players that you watched?
I grew up in the Dallas area in a town called Plano. And growing up, I was a big Ranger fan, and Pudge Rodriguez, Juan Gonzalez, and Rafael Palmeiro were there when I was growing up, and I was fortunate to get to go to their games, and it was really special to see how they played. And then I think my favorite player growing up was Ken Griffey Jr., just amazing athlete, really got after it, and had that pretty swing. So it was I enjoyed watching those guys growing up.
Yeah, well, that was a slugging group,
Yeah.
and something you want to emulate. So you got through high school, and maybe at some point in high school you realized you were getting some scouts looking at you. Did you have a decision to make between a couple of sports?
Yeah, I was back in high school. I was more into football than baseball, and had a few small offers from some schools to go on and play football, but then realized baseball was probably my stronger suit. So had to give up football, which was kind of tough, but I think I made the right decision.
Yeah. So in the early days in the minors, what system were you in, and how describe your climb?
Well, I was always been with the White Sox, and started off in Kannapolis, low A, and just slowly every year moved up a level, and then jumped up to AAA pretty fast, and was there most of all last year and the beginning of this year until I got called up.
So now you're in a pennant race, a legitimate pennant race, and a lot of teams too. You got a 10-team group in the American League, all in contention. What's the feeling like in here?
Everybody's really excited about this opportunity, and every game we're giving it all we got and putting it all out on the line, and it's a special feel in the locker room right now. Everybody's got a bunch of energy and feeding off of each other, and just want to keep riding this wave and keep it going.
As your team matches up with lefty-righty bullpen combinations and whatnot, you probably see some late inning action, and you got to be ready.
Right.
What is your preparation regimen in the early innings, getting ready for maybe a pinch hitter or defensive call-up?
Yeah, I just, throughout the whole game, I'm trying to stay loose as I can, going back into the batting cages, taking some swings so I'm ready if I'm called upon. But even if I'm not in there, I go about same routine every single day as if I was going to play, and just like some of the older guys told me, just always be ready, don't be caught off guard. So I took that advice, and throughout the whole game, I'm mentally in the game and then physically getting loose for when they need me.
Who are some of those advice givers? Who are the people who've been giving you the best information?
In the outfield, Eaton and Chuck have been really my mentors, just tell me how the ropes go. And then James Shields kind of taking me under his wing a little bit, because he's cousins with Aaron Rowan, and I became pretty good friends with him during spring training. Have a not a big connection, but I played with his other cousin back in college. So it's a small world. Yeah, so it's kind of nice. But Shields has been really nice and given me some great words of advice.
That's great. Tell a little bit about your pitching staff and the pitchers that you might know, who are here with you now and making an impact.
Yeah. So back in the bullpen, Noah, I've been playing with them for a little bit, and both of those guys have worked really hard. And Beck especially overcome some injuries and the transition to the bullpen, and he's still working on it, but he's embracing the role and the opportunity that he has up here, and his stuff is electric, and you can see that when he throws. He just needs to, just like a bunch of us guys, needs to control the nerves, like me especially. But once I think we all settle in there, I think we're up here for a reason, and we're going to contribute the best of our abilities.
Go to the Tim Anderson school of being mellow.
Right.
Talk about an even keel.
Right.
You want the pregame meal he had, right?
Right, and it's cool. Every level we've come up, every single level we've come up together. So I've been a few weeks ahead of them, but it seems every time that one of us moves up, the next one just follows in the footsteps, and it's awesome to see what Tim's doing right now. Really great teammate, good person, and he's special out there, and it's fun to watch him go out there and play every day.
No doubt. Well, to wrap up, what quality in this locker room, aside from general talent, tells you that this is going to be a team that's going to be there in October?
I think the leadership, we just got a lot of guys on the team like Frazier, like Sale, that just have that leadership quality that gets the guys rallied up and ready to go. And Britt Laurie too, he's a really good, brings lots of energy to the field every single day, and just to have those guys on your team and with their knowledge and their abilities, it's a special combination.
We'll be looking for you in those 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, and get a key knock or make a nice catch and get a W in the column.
Yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate it. You've got to get to the Wise Owl at Van Buren and Racine. Pizzas, pork sliders, Cuban sandwiches, carrot soup, elote, burgers, tacos, salads, and more. Great cocktails and great bartenders. A tremendous array at the Wise Owl, Van Buren and Racine. See you there. You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Des Plaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional, and she will help you. Give her a call. Family Dentist, Lawrence Furland, EDS, 109th and Kedzie, crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. They do a great job. Call 773-233-7044. Excellent work, impeccable. Call the Family Dentist, 773-233-7044. They did a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. You've got to get to the Irish Legend, down Archer Avenue, 8933 to be exact. Willow Springs, across from the ballroom. They have great food, great drink. The outdoor patio is going great now. Great staff, open at 11 a.m. daily. It's a good place to be. The Irish Legend. I'll be looking for you this summer. We're back on the spotlight. It's time to talk White Sox manager. Robin Ventura has been the cool hand that got the White Sox through their brutal time, that desperate 5-week period. I don't know how much credit or blame should go there, but it's over now. Right now we're concerned about July and August. And as we hit the tape, the White Sox are on the cusp of catching the wild card teams, and then they want to go charging harder after that for the divisional lead. But a lot of things are going right, and he talks about some of those things and about possible all-stars and all that good stuff in part 2 of our Robin interview for this section. As part of your success of the last couple of weeks, I've noticed some challenging base running where you're taking the extra base and scoring and beating the throw. Are you pushing that assertiveness, and do you think that feeds into putting pressure on the opposing defense?
Well, we always want to do that, but we've also made some not so good base running plays. So all of that's going to you like the aggressiveness, but we in Houston we made a couple mistakes there that can cost you. But yesterday I thought Joe was pretty aggressive on some balls that landed in with Tim, and a ball right field that we were able to score. And you're just trying to push across what you can, and I think we're always going to have the aggressive part, but you don't want the bonehead ones to come along with it.
Tim made a nice read on the short ball. That show you something?
That did. I mean, his speed helps out with that. but you know, I think his initial read on that, it's not an easy ball just to sit there and think you're going to take off and be able to score. But you know, again, we're starting to see some things from him, even as young as he is. He makes very good reads, and I think that's instinctually where he's gotten to, is that he's very comfortable with what he's doing.
Probably safe to say Chris's name is going to be one of those brought up in a couple hours from now.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope. I mean, he's earned it. You know, he deserves that.
What amount of I don't know, apprehension you may have had with the adjustments you were hoping you would make this year, and to see him here after those adjustments sitting here at 14-2?
Well, there's a lot that goes into it that he's done. That he's just done, I think, maturity-wise and where he's at in the game. But you know, he just gets deeper in the games. You know, he's not as concerned about the strikeouts as one probably believes he is. But he can strike people out. We all know that. But I think he really has gotten to the point where he understands what our team needs, and you know, at times that's going to be go deeper in the game and help the bullpen out. He's always trying to win the game, but you know, there's little things that go with it that I think he's just he's a more complete pitcher now than he's ever been.
Is it a high sense of organization and city pride if your guy is the opening starter for the Miracle League?
Yeah, I think you know, it's special to be the guy that's asked to start the game. It really means you're the best that year, and there's a lot of good pitchers around the league. We've seen a lot of them, and you know, it's just a nice little feather in your cap when you're the guy that's been tabbed, the guy that starts the game. So I hope he gets a chance to be able to be that guy. To me, he's earned it. He deserves it, and I hope he enjoys it if he gets that chance.
Are there any?
Yeah, you know, he's played a great right field. You know, I think that part probably goes underlooked as far as what he's done for us. But, you know, I think he's probably played the best right field that I've seen this year. I mean, you don't see everybody else play every day, but I know how much he's helped us.
Sale, if when this happens, it's 5 in a row. To sustain that level over 5 years, how hard is that to do?
That's extremely hard. You know, everybody seems to have the 1 year off where you're not quite as sharp or you're not as good. But you know, I think even for all the questions of, you know, his durability, I think that goes along with it, and just how much he's improved, not only, you know, pitching wise, but you know, physically, just to be able to withstand that.
Of the different things you've been asked about here today, about the way your club has improved in the last 2 weeks, have we missed anything? Is there something you noticed? A little subtlety that's improved?
I think offensively, I mean, there's that's the obvious stuff. I mean, I think anytime your club's going to improve, you're going to have to score some runs, and that wasn't a secret before either. You know, when you're looking at trying to win games 2-1 all the time, you're not going to be able to sustain that. I think offensively, we get it going a little bit. You get Fraze with, you know, a few hits yesterday. It looks better. Jose doing the same thing. Now we got Tim Anderson up here doing what he's doing. So we're a little bit different than we were 2-3 weeks ago. I think the dynamic of our team is different, and offensively we're just a better team right now.
And getting some early leads.
Well, yeah. I mean, before it seemed like we were down early and not really having the capability to strike back really quick. And yesterday was an example of that, of getting down early, and TA hits a 2-run homer, get us, you know, evened up with them, and then from there it just continues to, you know, see guys grind and be able to score.
Thank you.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and their fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700 And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget, the Illinois Lottery, too. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski. You've got to get to the Sock Live Bidkowski Trivia, alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great game, great people. Check out the Sock. I think you'll be glad you did when you go to my trivia game every other Thursday. 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Del Sur Mexican Restaurant, open for lunch and dinner daily, with a great variety like shrimp, tilapia, salmon, chicken dishes, great steaks, 46th and Halsted, easy to reach from everywhere. Get to Del Sur Mexican Restaurant. You'll be surprised by its elegance.
We're talking with a very rare individual, and this man's father has given him many a good lesson, but he's doing it on his own right now. And we're talking to Ken Griffey Jr. And Ken, just like to get a little perspective from you how the 1990 season is going for you after all the good things you learned last year.
Well, it's going smooth. I just go out and play every day and play as hard as I can.
Elaborate a little bit about 1989 as a learning process and how much of it you can apply to what you've been doing so far this year.
Well, last year all I did was learn, and I'm still learning this year, but I just want to go out and concentrate on playing as well as learning. And last year it was more of a learning process for me. It was like learning then playing, and now this year it's playing and learning at the same time.
You know, so much has been said about all the lessons your dad taught you growing up, and you were around a great Cincinnati winning atmosphere. How much of that really does rub off and makes the game playing easier for you?
As far as the Reds, it was none. I just go out and play, and he'll say something like, "How'd you do?" I said, "Well, I messed up, and I did this." He'll say, "Well, this is what you have to do in certain situations," and that's it. And the Reds, if we wanted to go to the game, we would. But if not, if we didn't want to, my mom would say, "Hey, stay home." It wasn't really an issue to go to every game.
Did you learn a little bit about what winning was about, though, being around those kind of guys? I mean, let's face it, you had some Hall of Famers in that group, Benj and Rose, and you know, a tremendous lineup, Tony Perez, Concepcion. Did you get to see those guys and any of their habits and what made them the winning club that they were?
No, you know, I was only, 5, 6 when they won the World Series? Well, actually 6 and 7. And, let's see,
So
12. And when my dad left, I think I was 12 when he left. I was in the 8th grade when he left. So, you know, from there on, it was my mother. She just said, "Hey, you guys can play. Don't worry about nothing. Play baseball, play football, play basketball. I really don't care. Just go out and enjoy yourself."
So maybe that's getting a little more attention than it deserves. Let's talk about your approach to the game. Some of your teammates, as we talked about earlier, tease you a little bit about you go up to the plate and you have a tremendous game hitting-wise, and maybe you're not totally clued in on about which pitcher you faced or things like that. How much of that mystery is true?
All of it. I have no idea about the pitching. It's as far as, you know, they can throw up anything, and if it's hittable, I'll swing at it. But you know, they'll ask me, "Well, what'd you hit?" I say a fastball. They're gonna know you hit a changeup or a curveball. But everything I hit looks straight to me. So I don't know. It's just something about my eyes.
Well, do you feel comfortable riding out that string of natural reaction, or do you think there'll come a point where you're going to want to actually get a little studious about it and maybe keep a book on pitchers, or is it just safest to keep it all in your head?
Safe to keep it all in my head. Pitchers warm up, I don't look at them. I very seldom look at other batters facing a pitcher, because then I subconsciously think, you know, well, he's throwing harder than what he is, and I say he's got a good fastball, and I go up thinking he's Nolan Ryan, and it's a little bit slower. And so as far as looking at pitchers and stuff, I don't pay attention to them.
How about defensively or on the base paths? You know, we've seen you make some of the great catches, the throws, and steal a base or two now and then. What about any kind of study as far as that goes?
Base work, I need a lot of practice at that. But as far as defense, I'm fine. I just go out there and run down whatever they hit up there.
Tendencies, the coaches will help you a little bit, move you around, tell you the likelihood of where a guy's going to go with the ball?
Yeah, they do that, to everybody. And that goes for every coach in the American League and National League. If they have a pattern where they're going to hit the ball, they're going to move a fielder over there.
Is it all hit you yet? I mean, as you approach birthday number 21, all that has happened to you, are you putting it in perspective?
No, it hadn't hit me. I just go out and play. And, I've been playing baseball my life, so this is no different. And I just go out there and do what I have to do.
Would a goal be to you and your dad to participate in the same World Series?
Yeah, or just be on the same team.
All-Star time could be a possibility, huh?
Well, hopefully, but, you never know. I just go out there and do my job, and he does his.
You've got to get to Jack's. 3325 Ridge Road in Lansing. Trivia every Tuesday at 7 p.m. A very intense competitive game. Any of half a dozen teams can win. You've got to get to Oliver's, 6100 West 159th Street in Oak Forest for my live trivia games. I'm there every other Thursday at 7 p.m. It's a great time with great food and drink. See you at Oliver's. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place.
We're back on the Benkowski Sports Spotlight, and maybe it's because the weather is broken and the friendly confines are a funner place to be, especially from the fans' point of view, but the Cubs are on a resurgence of sorts, and Joe Girardi is here to tell us a little bit about it. Joe, during some of the tough times when your pitching staff was really struggling, how much of the heat as the catcher do you feel that you say you want to make the perfect call, and it seems like a lot of it's on your own shoulders?
Well, I feel some pressure. You just want to help the pitchers out as much as you can, and you feel bad for the pitchers and you feel bad for the club, so you put a little pressure on yourself to get as much as you can out of that starting pitcher on that day.
Zimmer has said on several occasions, it hasn't been to this point where you could get the pitching and hitting together. You see Andre Dawson, Ryan Sandberg, Sean Dunston amongst the league leaders in batting average and homers, and you say, geez, this club probably should have a better record. How much of it does fall upon the staff?
Well, I think all teams that win, the pitching is solid, and our pitching this year has been a little rocky, and we've had some injuries that have hurt us. So if the pitching comes along, I think we're going to have another good year.
Thanks for watching. See you next week. You've been watching the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. Perfect Pitch located at 108th and Kedzie. Great repairs, great people. Lansing Floral, 708-474-1212. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound saddle stitch, very competitive pricing. Call 708-396-1010.